Corey Taylor is the best metal vocalist of all time. Lars Ulrich is a good drummer. Yes. This first song is like everything that I tell people how not to write a song. Limp Bizkit is actually good. Oh, okay. So Limp Bizkit is an interesting one because when they came out, this band was huge, but not for very long. They just kind of like fell off very quickly. But they've had this massive resurgence, haven't they, in recent years, along with this whole sort of 2000s nostalgia. But were they a good band? Is it a good song though? I don't know. It's fun. Like, it's one of those things. It's kind of like, it's impossible for me to hate it. In conclusion, Limp Bizkit are not a good band, but they're fun. So who cares, right? Anthrax doesn't belong in the big four. What do we think about this? The trouble is, I think it should have just been the big three. You've got Metallica, Megadeth, and Slayer, who were by far the three biggest thrash bands of all time. And like, Anthrax doesn't really hold a candle to like any of those three bands. Neither does any other thrash band, really. Like, yeah, Sepultura, Testament, Annihilator, Exodus. These are all fantastic bands, but they don't hold a candle in terms of like commercial success. And this is pretty much what the big four is based on, right? And the big four is just too contentious. There isn't really like an obvious fourth band. But Anthrax aren't shit. They're not a shit band. They've got some great stuff. Scott Ian is one of the best of all time when it comes to rhythm guitar playing. All right, next hot take. Sabaton is underrated. No, they're not. Dude, Sabaton are one of the biggest fucking metal bands in the world. What are you talking about? Look how many fucking views their music videos have. Look, 86 million, 16 million, The Last Stand. Like, this is not an underrated band. Cryptic Writings is a solid Megadeth album. All right. Somebody pointed out in chat when we were doing the Megadeth deep dive that this song is an obvious Enter Sandman ripoff. I was like, oh shit, it really is. Like, you've got like the fucking build-up Tom intro. Like, that riff is such an Enter Sandman riff. What other good songs are there on this album? All right, She-Wolf. She-Wolf's a good one. It's like a solid mid-album. I think that's why I rated it a C tier in the deep dive. All right, early Judas Priest stuff, 80s and 70s is not that good. Whoa, okay, that is definitely a spicy take. No, dude, like, there's so much good shit in Priest back catalog. It's like Judas Priest sort of like doing disco. Dissident Aggressor as well, heavy as fuck. I mean, like, early Judas Priest, obviously it's like very primitive and it's not as like, you know, exhilarating and as exciting, but yeah, there's still so many classics in here. Corey Taylor is the best metal vocalist of all time. What do you guys think about that? Who come to mind when we think of best metal vocalists of all time? I guess people say like Dio, Rob Halford, Bruce Dickinson, Terry Glaze. Let's go. Terry Glaze, of course. I guess it depends whether you're talking about vocal prowess, like technical ability, or just like how iconic they are. But actually thinking about it, when we start to compile this list, I do actually think that Corey Taylor belongs there. He has a really, really like iconic, powerful voice, and it's still good. Like, he can still sing his fucking guts out. Dude, he still sounds fucking amazing. Don't think I would say best of all time, but he's definitely up there. I would say Corey Taylor is definitely 100% in the top 10 metal vocalists of all time. Absolutely. Ride the Lightning is better than Rust in Peace. Oh! Oh! No. Ride the Lightning, it's okay, but it sounds like ass. Lars Ulrich is a good drummer. Yes. Yes. Big agree. Emperor is the only truly interesting black metal band. Oh! I would say Emperor are probably, if not the most, but one of the most accessible black metal bands, and easily the black metal band that has the most interesting guitar work. Emperor, are they the most interesting black metal band? Probably, yeah. In terms of instrumentation, songwriting, musicality, I would say so, yeah. My hot take is that I really like Dance with Death cover from Iron Maiden, despite how bad it is, and can look past all the many mistakes. It's fun, isn't it? It's fun. Even though, like, it looks objectively terrible. Though apparently the story behind this is that this was meant to be a prototype, apparently. And for some reason, like, the band ended up using it anyway for some reason, because they liked it, because they're a bunch of fucking old fogies. They're like, oh, like that. Oh, that looks good. Oh, and look at all these fancy computer graphics AI. Look at this. Whoa. Whoa. Ozzy's vocals have more personality and charisma than Dio, especially in the 70s. I kind of agree to an extent. One of the most iconic faces of metal. This man embodied the spirit of true heavy metal. But, dare I say, his voice was a little one-dimensional. You just want some sort of like straight up, really soulful, classic metal vocals. Of course, Dio is probably the best of all time, right? But he didn't really do anything else. Say what you want about him, but Ozzy did have a hell of a voice back in the day, right? From like, you know, the 70s up until the late 80s or whatever. He did a lot of different things with his voice, like more than Dio did. Ballads and like country shit and like heavy groovy rockers. Ozzy had more like dynamics to his voice. But yeah, I can sort of see that. In some ways, I would say that Ozzy was a better vocalist than Dio. Kiko Loureiro, the best Megadeth lead guitarist. So in my opinion, Marty number 1, Chris Poland number 2 for sure. Then it's probably Kiko. Then it's like, well, I guess Chris Broderick. I think that's kind of like what most people would put. I personally prefer Chris Poland's style a bit more. Kiko is insanely technical. Doesn't make my nipples all pointy in the same way that Marty and Chris's playing does. Something about playing that's too precise kind of turns me off a little bit. It's like less exciting. I like glam Pantera more than the regular Pantera. All right, now this is something we can talk about. I just wanted an excuse to get Terry Glaze on screen again. There we go. Point and case. Best fucking Pantera song, hands down. Oh no, it's not Terry! Oh no! Was Terry only on the first ones? Oh, what a disappointment. No! Everything I've ever known is a lie. It doesn't change anything though. This is still a fantastic album. And honestly, I take this over like... Is Glamterra better than later Pantera? Yeah. Fuck yeah, it is. All right. And the last one that somebody brought up, it's actually a pretty good one, is Death's version of Painkiller better than the original? Oh, that's the original. And now the Death version. Let's listen. What is it with these Death drum intros that sound like there's someone falling down the stairs? I mean, like, musically, I don't really enjoy this cover, but vocally, it's very cool. I do like the vocals a lot. And that Death was never really like a big band in its time. For some reason, they've just exploded out of nowhere over the past few years. And they've got this weirdly fanatical audience of young guys who are absolutely diehard into this band. And their fans are like so rabid. It's really odd. I get comments by like Death fans on like nearly all of my videos. Like no matter what the video is, there'll be comments saying like, what about Chuck? What about Chuck? But what about Chuck? What about Death? What about Death? You forgot to mention Chuck. There's a horde of Death fans piling in there, demanding that I speak about Chuck and about Death. I don't think they're a bad band by any stretch, but they have become incredibly overhyped and like over frenzied. Oh, from what I understand, the appeal of Death is that they write songs in a kind of dangerous, on the edge of your seat kind of manner, right? The riffs themselves are fantastic. The way they stitch them together is just like not good.
Now come shit on the comments, lololololol.
All right, mate. Do that. Do that. Do that. Nice one.